Hey, sorry guys. Sorry, Mariam Sad. Thank you very much. Again, yes, technology. Today I'm not in the studio. I am somewhere else. And thank you for those who are watching us. Let us know where you're watching us. Can you hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. Again, this is a very interesting time for us because we have to make sure that we are either at our farms, we are doing everything at the same time. Let us know. Let me know if you can hear me now, and so that we roll this together. A very interesting discussion today that we are going to have. It's not going to be as long as I thought. I thought it's going to be quite long, but clearly we are going to have it a bit shorter. Let me know if you can hear me.
So that
Let me know if you can hear me, whoever is listening. Thank you for watching us. Very interesting day as I started off, but apparently it looks like I did not, my voice was not being heard. Let me know if you can hear me. Wherever you are, let me know if you can hear me. Thank you. Thank you very much for those who have logged in, those who are watching us. Thank you. This is a very interesting day. We want to discuss about scouting, but scouting differently. Scouting for a purpose, scouting to understand, first of all, what is scouting? What do we mean by scouting? What are these things that we should be doing right? What are these tools that we require when you talk about scouting? And definitely, I have one of our partners that we want to work. We want to see how we can be able to have this interesting working relationship, and just for what they've done, the tools that they're building. A very interesting tool there. I was having an online discussion chat with Christopher Kavundi, and he said that now he has actually seen that the app is working and it's fantastic. Those who are watching us, let us know. Let me know if you can hear me. Modar, yes, Modar. Hey, this guy from Organics, a brilliant foliar fertilizer. Modar, can you hear me now? I hope you can hear me now. Mariam Sad, you can hear me? Brilliant. Thank you. So those who are watching us, a very interesting day. We're talking about this, and it's just about scouting. Scouting. It's been raining quite a lot in terms of erratic weather patterns, and if you can see clearly, we need to do much more than just saying that we're farming. You know, there are quite a lot, some information that we require, which I'll be sharing with you. But before that, before we even go further, I just wanted us to find out a few things. What we mean by scouting, what it's all about, what are we looking for when you're saying that we're scouting? Because if we don't do this, then we will lose time, we will lose and all these things. We lose quite a lot of information, a lot of time doing what we think that we're doing and what we think that we're already doing it right, and probably we're missing the mark. Probably we're actually missing the mark, and we might even engage in expenses that are not even required. So what is scouting? From my own analysis, from my own time as a farmer, which has not been a very short time, scouting is referred to something that you're monitoring, inspecting of crop, general plant practices. It involves a lot of gathering, recording information about crops on a very regular basis. Regular means very regular. Regular means now doing it as regular as possible. Just the way you want to spray, the same way you also just need to make sure that you're actually managing your crop well by detecting early detection of pests, early detection of diseases, so that you can be able to minimize some of these challenges. But what are the main reason why we scout? Scouting, first of all, scouting enables farmers. It enables farmers to be able to make informed decisions. Informed decision, knowing that I need to do this because of this. You don't do and then think. No, you do it because of something. It also helps us monitor and spread pests and diseases. It helps. You need to monitor. Sometimes you say, as you can see down there on the scroller, we need to wash your hands. In case you feel some of the symptoms. You stay away. You do this. Why? Because we are monitoring. We're monitoring. Remember when COVID hit us, we now want to monitor the symptoms to make sure that we're doing the right thing. So scouting primarily helps us to be able to monitor spread of pests and diseases. It helps to detect early signs of the same, pest attack, disease attack, and also the nutritional requirements. So for me, those are the three main. There are quite a number of pests and diseases, that are coming up. I normally receive quite a number of messages, both on WhatsApp, on Facebook, on my SMS, for those who have my number, which I'll be sharing later on this week. I get many messages of tutor. Like today I was reading one and somebody was saying, tutor has really attacked me. What do I do? And then I asked them for when did he start seeing the signs? And like 2 weeks ago, and I was like, wow. So scouting helps reduce that wow, the negative wow. It's a challenge. Remember, myself as well. If you don't know some of the diseases and pests, you might not even know. You might detect the signs, but if you don't know what these signs are leading to, then that's a challenge. And that's why today we're going to talk about how Plantix can help you to do this. I think I've been asked a number of questions that if Plantix can be able to help this, and we will be sharing with you what exactly I mean. I'd say how we can be able to scout using Plantix. A very interesting thing. So for those who are joining us, this is Farming for Profits, as always, wanting to make sure that you and I make profits from our farms. It is a challenge. It has been a challenge. It will continue being a challenge, but we still have to fight and make sure that we're getting there. Not all farming is easy, but we have to make sure that we are doing it right. So 3 reasons why we scout: to enable farmers ourselves to make informed decisions, to be able to check how we can be able to get high input production systems. Number 2, closely monitor spread of pests and diseases. Number 3, detect early signs of attack, pest and disease attack. And so what are the objectives? Why do we want to scout? We've already understood why we want to, the main reasons, but what are the objectives? This is to be able to make this informed decision, and this is for short term. The main informed decisions are short term. Which is it necessary to spray? Which pesticide? Where should it be applied and when? Some of these things are important. Long term, to be able to have a database, a database of which you will use later on as a basis of managing crops and pests in your farm. So those are 2 objectives. Interesting. Short term, what do I spray, when, how, why? The third one, the other one is a long term. The second objective is a long term in terms of how do I know what happened, when did this pest attack my farm, on which. So now, if you have any questions, let me know in the comment section as well. Those who are joining us from the groups and all this, let me know where you're listening from. Interesting day that we have here right now. I've had to do this because we promised that we will be able to do this on time. So let us now start discuss about the scouting process. What is this scouting process that we are always talking about? What is this scouting process? And very interestingly, the scouting process is as basic as getting to know what tools to use. Okay, as basic as knowing what tools to use. What are we getting to there? But even before going there and understanding this, I want us to think about something. I want us to think about something very interesting. And this thing that we want to talk about, I'll share it in my screen. I am doing it off the studio today, and I hope I'll get it here. Yes, here it is. Fantastic. Good. So let me see. I might have to do that. Yes. So we have 2 options. We have the options of going with this guy that I'm sharing on the screen. As you can see it. Let me know if you can see my screen properly. Mohdar, by the way, I'll be talking about a certain foliar fertilizer that I've been using, and it's fantastic. I can tell you it is great. My team is just saying, wow, we've not used this for some time, and I can see this guy is there, Mukhtar Mohammed, and I'll be sharing with you guys about him and more about him later on in the show as we continue. So there are things that you need: the traditional scouting, a magnifying glass, sweep net. You sweep and just find out some of these things. I am laughing because this is a very interesting part of the whole discussion that we'll be discussing. So let me do this for the purposes of those who have asked to see this. So interesting. So magnifying glass, sweep net, clippers. You need a hand trowel. You need a seed depth finder. You need containers. You need a Sharpie, a mark pen to mark some of these containers. You need flags. These are very important. You need a flag to make sure that you know which part did you find the pest infestation. And interesting. You need a bottle, spray bottle sterilizer in case you're getting some samples from different plants in the plantation, in the farm. You need resources. These resources are like database, fact sheets, disease publication, crop diseases, and I'll tell you why you don't need that now with Plantix. You need a notebook and a pen to record all these details. You need a smartphone if you have to take photos, to share these photos, to keep your records. I'll tell you why you don't need all that now with Plantix. And then you need a bag to carry all these items. So you are going to do some research on your farm. Very interestingly, and this is what I did not get this when I started farming, and most of us have not done this. And especially now, as we are doing this, I really want to urge you as a farmer to make sure that you are not in just to make money. This is a business, and you have to invest in some of these technologies, some of these tools. You need to invest time. I was talking to somebody, and I saw this discussion, and my good friend, my first good friend, Nawaz Khan, and there's a group called Kenya Agribusiness Market, and you should join that. But you have to join it if you have the stamina. I know, Mohammed, you say that you'd like us to have Nawaz Khan in the show. I think we should. I think we definitely should, and we will be doing that in a few days. So as I continue, we're just discussing something very interesting. Why you need to invest this. And somebody said in the group, that in the discussion, that somebody has invested 11 million shillings, or rather $10,000 approximately. $100,000. Yes. And I asked the guy that has this guy employed an agronomist, or if he's doing dairy, have they employed a vet? Because that is a lot of money. I can tell you that from experience, that's a lot of money, So anyway, getting back to the discussion, the scouting kit, you need to have all these things, or you need to have one tool for scouting and disease management, and we'll discuss about this, and which I'll be sharing. So if you have any questions before, as we continue, let me know about this. If you have any question, let me know what you're doing. Mariam Saad, thank you for tuning in and listening. Thank you very much. I can see your comments there. And interestingly, what we are discussing is very interesting, because we are simply talking about how you can be able to make sure that you are benefiting out of this, out of the scouting and all these things. Very interestingly. So let us go next and just talk about something very interesting. Something that I've always been thinking about as we talk about scouting is, why is scouting very important? Why is scouting very important? And I'm going to I'll just go back to what we were discussing a few minutes earlier, and just basically, because if we don't discuss this now, it will be a very big challenge as we move forward. What is the importance of scouting? Why is scouting important? And as we have seen, I will just go back briefly into that. What we have seen, why it is important, is the fact that scouting helps us to understand some of these things. It helps us to make decisions. Again, three things that we said. Scouting helps you to make wise decisions, informed decisions. It helps you to be able to monitor spread of pests and diseases. Let's note that it helps you to monitor the spread of pests and diseases, but also, which are of very great importance, and which only farmers who have been attacked by pests and diseases will understand this. It helps in early detection. So scouting helps in early detection of pests, diseases, attack, and also nutritional requirements for your crops, for your farm. So again, let's remember that as we continue the discussion. Let us remember that. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section. And we continue, and we have seen that there is also a tool that we need to use, which is a scouting tool, which comprises so many things, But now, as we do this, let us also move forward. Let us move forward and just ask ourselves a few questions. Like, for example, we are scouting for something. We are scouting for a pest. We're scouting for a disease that we do not know about, okay? So what I will do is that I will basically, as we continue, we'll talk about other things. Objectives. Again, we've said objectives of scouting to help you make informed decisions now, immediately now, meaning that we want to see how we can be able to know what is necessary to spray, which pesticide or fungicide, where should it be applied, and when. Interesting discussion here. So I'll be sharing that as well in the screen as we continue with this discussion. It is the main objectives of scouting. So I'll be sharing that in the next few minutes again as well, just for you to know what we've talked about as you are joining us. Those who are joining us again, we are live on YouTube. We are live on Farmers Our page. We want to just make sure that we have some of this information straight up to make sure that you as a farmer make an informed decision. We are here for you. We are here to share all this information with you, not ours. It's not just ours. It's for everyone, all of you who are watching us as well. So to continue, so I will just share this. I've been asked by some of you to share this information. Basically, it's this scouting. What are these things that we need? Interestingly, scouting objectives. Short term, as you can see on the screen, it is necessary to know when to spray, what to spray, which pesticide or fungicide. It doesn't matter, even if you're doing organic, which again, organic, we'll have a discussion about this. I don't know if, for those who are joining us, I don't know if organic really matters, really exists. So we'll talk about that as well. So let us know. Let me know where you're listening to us from. I've been asked to remind you that, remember those who are watching us, to subscribe to our channel, our YouTube channel, and understand how this can, some of this information. Click on the notification bar, and so that you can get notified whenever we're going live. We have scheduled discussions Monday to Friday, which we'll be sharing more details about this. So again, if you look at that, the scouting is important. The objective of scouting is paramount. They're already there. You're doing that. So what are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about something very interesting: plant sampling. How do you do the sampling? What are you going to do? So sampling is, you do it randomly. You don't do structured. You don't do structured. You do like a sampling method. You look at it. You look at and say, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I will be sharing some of this discussion here right now, but also later on in the show, later on in the page. Just remember to check out our page as well, which I'll be sharing some of these details with you as a farmer. To learn and to just understand some of these basic things that I want you to learn about this. So what can you do in terms of what is it called? What will you do for I'm seeing a very interesting message here being sent by one of you. A very interesting message that okay, interesting. Yes. Okay. A very interesting quick message here that you've sent to me, and so I just want to share something as well on how to scout, what to do when you're looking at if it's scouting. What are you looking for? What is this information that you should be seeing? When you're scouting. So I will be sharing. Let me know if you can be able to see my screen as well. I'm sharing something very interesting here. Let me add it here on my screen. Fantastic. So something that we have just discussed about. Today I had this very interesting discussion with one of you, and they asked me, hey, you're making scouting look like conk, like very hard, but no, it is a basic thing. It's one of the basic things. So as you can see, I'm sharing them. Plant sampling, you sample randomly. What you don't have to wait for, you don't have to be like a structured ruler straight, no. So you sample different places, different parts of the farm, different parts of the crop, what you've done. You need to make sure that you have insect traps. Very important to have insect traps. For those who are selling insect traps, definitely make a point of let us know where you are, how you're doing it, so that we can be able to make sure that you have you are able to do what we're able to get this. These are pheromone traps, as well as insect-specific color traps. So insect-specific color traps are like blue for some insects. Get attracted to blue. Some yellow traps, those are the ones, the two main specific color traps, which are very important for you as a farmer to have on your farm. It helps you detect. I know some people have thought and been told that, these insect traps helps trap insects. True and false somehow. True, because what it does that it attracts and the insects stick there, definitely. But the most important factor to note is that insect traps help you to detect, to just get to know what the infestation rate of the pests on your farm. That's what I use for. I make sure I do that. So pheromone traps, that is the pheromone traps, insect-specific color traps. We have things like melon traps, melon fly traps. We have the fruit fly traps. We have the thrips color, the blue color for thrips traps as well. Make sure you have that in mind as well. Interesting. Today I have water in my homemade studio. Interesting. Indicator plants. Highly susceptible plants planted to monitor early arrival of target insects. A very interesting thing, you know. So we have indicator plants. I'll be sharing that. We'll be sharing, in the page right now. Not today, but later on in the week. Very interesting. Highly susceptible plants planted to monitor the early arrival of specific target insects. Oh, interesting. So we'll be doing that. We'll be sharing which are some of these plants to be able to plant. Let me know what you're thinking about. Mariam Sad, thank you very much for staying tuned. The next thing is color-coded pegs. Indicate areas of that you use this to indicate the colors. The areas of attack or infestation. This has to be placed at least 3 meters above the crop canopy, the top of the crop. The crop canopy is the top part of the crop. So make sure you have this color-coded pegs. It could be just a normal stick together with a flag. Some have yellow, so you can opt to customize it for your own farm. The other one is a multi-bisectoral pattern. That's a doubling. Just to make sure that you have that on your farm to identify. This is how I went. This is the design I went to. Remember, you're doing plant sampling, which is random. So you have points. So some do the zigzag pattern. I prefer the zigzag pattern because it gives me different parts of the farm randomly, so that even when I come to check again, I can check the opposite, but still in a zigzag manner. A very interesting thing, something else that we are also talking about here today. So those who have joined us, this is Farm Plan Monday, coming to you straight here from me, Noah Nasali Kadima, your host again. But that's what we're looking at is something very interesting today. We're discussing how do you scout? And so we want to turn to, I don't know how many of you have downloaded or have the Plantix app. Let me know if you are using the Plantix app. Interestingly, on Monday last week, it told me that on Friday or Saturday, it's going to rain, and it rained and it rained and rained. So one of the reasons why I maintain my Android phone for all reasons is the fact that it actually enables me to use Plantix. That's my reason. So those who are watching me, if you can you see this? That is my Plantix. That is my Plantix on my phone. It can give me some things. So what we'll do is that we will also just, those who are joining us, let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me. Mohdar Mohammed, I know you are in there. So again, as we continue, we want to talk about something very important. We have seen that is important. But now we want to see something that I wanted to share with you today, actually. I wanted to share with you something. Here it is. I think it is coming up now. Can I see? No, I cannot see. It hasn't come up yet. Yes, it is here. So whatever we have right now on the screen is, let me just put that like that. If you can be able to see, so that is downy mildew. And we want to see how does it help? How are we able to do this? How are we able to scout? And what are we seeing when you say we're scouting? Okay. So as you can see this, let me just, some of these things are not very easy to do when you're doing it on your own. Interesting. Yes. So if you can see that, we can clearly see that the most interesting thing about it is that downy mildew. So this is just helping you what Plantix can do for you. So Plantix can give you the disease. It can give you you can be able to check the symptoms, how they appear on your crop. A very interesting thing. You can also see now what it tells you. It's a very interesting thing here that we're talking about. It tells you that this could be found in which crops. Interesting. Then yellowish spots on the leaves, letter brown, and dead patches. It tells you white, gray. It gives you the whole indication. So what I'll do is that I want us to think about a pest. Okay, to think about a pest that has affected us. And if you have a pest, let me know what you want us to check out. If you have a pest that you want us to scout, that probably you've done. But for what I'll do is that it maintains a very interesting thing about it. It maintains a database. I don't know if you can see my screens right now. it maintains a database, a database of one of the things that you've highlighted. And so very obviously, I will use something called, I'll use one of the pests that I think one of you sent to me a while back, which I will be sharing right now with you. Let me see from my database. Yes, yep. So somebody sent me an image, and this image was for fusarium wilt. So first of all, I'll just make sure that I send this over. I think you'll not be able to see, but I can see, which I'll be sharing in the comment section as well. So it was about an image that I was sent for was this particular image on top. I don't know if you can see. Let me know if you can see the if you can see my screen. So the one on top here is the one that I was sent. Somebody sent me this, and looking at it using the database from Plantix, it detected to make sure that and gave me. For those who are seeing it, I don't know if you can see my screen, my monitor. Yes, it is fusarium wilt, and fusarium wilt is dangerous. It's just dangerous. So what it gives recommended products, what you can be able to use, the chemical control, biological control, what you can do. And most importantly, for things like two-tabs, luta, for the pests, there are some of the traps that you can be able to use. For fusarium wilt diseases, this is a soil-based diseases and soil-borne disease. And what you need to do is that you need to make sure that you test your soil first. Very important. Any other thing that comes in is something that can be detectable. And of importance is that today I want to share something very, very, very interesting as well. Let me know if you have any questions. We are going on with this show today, and what I will share with you is just why Plantix is as important as we're talking about this. And so again, we have seen what is the importance of using a tool. These days, we have to use these tools. They are available for us to use. So we have to make sure that we are actually using these tools. Plantix is like a very interesting thing. It's one of the best things that has happened to farmers. Something very interesting that we can be able to use. Let me know how your experience has been. Let me know what you're thinking about when you're using this. And so that is how you basically use Plantix to be able to detect pests and diseases and nutritional deficiencies in your crops. Very interestingly. So what we will do right now is that I want to share with you something more from what Plantix is all about. I want to share with you something importance of Plantix. I know some of you have asked me quite a number of questions. I know I've had quite a number of questions from you, which I will be sharing right now with you guys in terms of what Plantix is all about and what it can do. Some of you were using Plantix a while back, and so we want to see basically again what Plantix is all about. But anyway, let me know how your day at the farm was. If you were at the farm, I saw a very interesting comment somewhere. Somebody posted something very interesting. I think she's called, I can't remember her name. Yeah, and asked, are you married to your farm, or are you still dating your farm? Very interesting. We'll discuss this later on in the week. Are you married to your farm, or are you are you still dating your farm? Interesting, quite interesting. The insights there in that discussion was hilarious, but still a lot of things that we need to think about, especially we who are saying that we're farming throughout. It's very interesting that we need to make sure that we have that discussion in mind. And sometimes we say if you are dating your farm, there are times you don't go to the farm and all that. Definitely for other activities, because you have very many things doing. Myself, I don't go to my farm every day. But that was a very insightful question. Are you married to your farm, or are you dating your farm? Interesting. Wow. Yes. So that is what I wanted to share with you today. But as we finish the discussion, let me know if you have any questions. I just want to share something from Plantix as well. I call Plantix, which it is our crop doctor. So let me just share with you something very interesting here from Plantix. What it does, what Plantix can do for you, what you can be able to see and learn from when you're using Plantix here. So technically, what Plantix does is that it uses automated image recognition. So when you go to health check, so when you open Plantix and go to health check, it just tells you basically what it tells you is that It tells you to take a photo, see diagnosis, and get medicine. Very interesting. So those who have not downloaded yet, this is what it does. It asks you to simply take a photo, see the diagnosis, and get medicine. Simple, simple. Not too much English. Not too much English. In Kenya we say kizungu mingi. Take a photo, see diagnosis, get medicine, and it's free of charge, by the way. So what does Plantix do? Plantix it can be able to identify 500 pests, diseases, and nutrient deficiencies with more than 85% accuracy involving 50 crops. How many of you have planted more than 10 crops? Me, I have, because I kept on wondering which crops to grow and all that. So use some of these tools. What Plantix does, it has a digital library of more than 500 plant damages. It has an interactive community that you can be able to share. It enables cross-learning discussions of all agricultural stakeholders. Very interesting. It can be able to give you a crop advisory. So Plantix has a crop advisory part of it, that helps you understand how to manage your crops. It guides farmers through the whole season, from when from your sowing date. It guides you how to prepare land, how to prepare your nurseries, how to manage your nurseries. Very interestingly, something else that Plantix have is fertilizer calculator. It actually shows you how to calculate the rate at which you can calculate your fertilizer. Very interesting. So the tool is here. So I found this tool very interesting. This particular part of it is interesting. Let me just split my screen so that you can be able to see clearer. So this particular part of the discussion is interesting. So let me choose a crop that most of you are growing, and most of you have grown this season. So actually, even before that, let me just share something. On this screen, interesting. Can you see? Let me know if you can see my screen. Interesting. So you can select the crops that you want to grow. It has more than 50 crops. You can select which ones. I'm being told you cannot see clearly. Can you see clearly now? Okay, I'll do that. So for me, what I've done is that I selected 8 crops. So 8 crops I selected, and one of them being onions, for obvious reasons. I do not just experiment, but I do it. So these are some of the indications. See, there's fertilizer calculator here, pests, and then something else that is there, cultivation tips. So some of these things that are very interesting. For example, that's fertilizer application. For onions, I will put, assuming I'm doing 1 acre, I'll do that. I'll do that fertilizer application. Okay, and then I will calculate here, and it will give me, very interestingly, it will give me the different stages and different types of fertilizer to use. Can you see? Yes. It gives you what you can use. So for what you can use is that you basically do what? You basically substitute that. I will take, some of you are saying I take a screenshot. Interesting, fine. I'll take a screenshot and share it as well. So it gives you a plant calculator. It gives you a plant calculator, fertilizer calculator, to know how much fertilizer is needed for a crop, at which size, from different sizes you have in hectares as well as acres. So that's important. Automated disease alerts. You can get disease alerts to be able to know. And why this is important is because you can get warned about possible occurring diseases in real time to the farmers, to you as a user. Something else that is very important, as I mentioned as we were starting the show, weather forecasting. Very critical. Very, very critical. And apart from just that, it also shows you what activity to engage in during that week, depending on the weather. Like today in the morning, I think it gave me a weather pattern, and it said that today was a bad day to apply pesticides. Why? Obvious reason, because it's raining. And make sure we know we have some things that we use to stop the draining of water from, or the pesticide that we're spraying. But again, it's not advisable to spray when it's raining. Okay. Yes. So something else, Plantix is simple English. Simple English. So when you want to scout, It is already available there. It will tell you whether this is a pest, this is a disease, what are the challenges that you're facing, that you're facing. This is how it is, and make sure that you use this and you use it well. If you have any questions, let me know. Let us know from the comment section. Let us know if you have any questions right now, so that we can be able to answer. If you have, if you don't have, we know definitely you will be benefiting much more from this, from this, and you will basically understand exactly what we are actually talking about in terms of this. Somebody has asked me whether Plantix can support organic farming. Yes, it has both chemical as well as biological, how we can be able to use it organic, but I don't know. I'm not sure whether organic farming is really very, very viable. A complete 100%, I don't think it's very viable. Again, this has been a Farmers Media. This is Farming for Profits, your host known as Sally Kadima. Glad that you have joined me and getting just to understand much more about this. We're happy to always have some of your questions ready. Mariam Saad, thank you for tuning in. We have Bonita Margaret as well watching, and there's a question there. Bonita, we will look for an expert to be able to talk about why your goats are losing kids. We will see how to do that. Definitely, I know Plantix cannot do that, but we will share much more about that. Interestingly, so there's a question also coming through, whether we can be able to detect what is it called? We can detect spraying, can spray completely herbicides. Yes, definitely. I will share some of this information. Remember, this we want you to succeed. Again, something interesting that we are starting out in our social media platforms, all our website and all that. If you want to advertise, make sure that you let us know. Let us know whether you want to advertise with us, so that we can be able to guide you on how to advertise, to make sure that you are seen by many farmers and all that. Again, thank you very much for those who have watched. This has been scouting and how to do it using Plantix. We will be talking about much more about that. Diagnostics Tuesdays tomorrow. Tune in. We'll want to diagnose some diseases that come up with the rains. When it's raining, you find more diseases coming, and you get more diseases on your farms when it is raining. When it is hot and it's not raining, more pests come in. So tune in tomorrow, Diagnostics Tuesday, with me as well. I'll be joined by two farmers. We'll be joined by someone else. John Gishui, thank you for watching. I think John Gishui is the expert, and I think he's coming in very interestingly. We'll be having John Gishui. Some of you have seen him on Facebook, and we'll be having him, and just making sure that we are sharing more information. Now, we have some gifts that we'll be giving out from tomorrow. And these gifts will be given in a specific order. So if you have been active in Africa Farmers Club and in our pages, in our social media pages, just know that you are ready to get a gift. Interesting. How many are ready to get a gift? Yes, definitely. So if you have been listening to us, definitely you know about Farming for Profits, you know our YouTube channel, you know all this. So we want to engage with you. We want to reward you for having been a loyal follower, you being an active farmer. We want to reward you, and we'll be rewarding you from tomorrow. From tomorrow, we have some gifts that we'll be sharing with you. So remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our page. We will pick randomly as we start. Then we'll also have some set of questions that we want you to be able to learn from, and to answer. If you get the right answers in a specific order, then we will give you some gifts. I will not mention any names because I am not in studio, so I know of some of the gifts that have been prepared for you, our listeners and your farmers, but I'll be sharing more tomorrow. So thank you very much. Thank you for having stayed tuned in. We are excited all the time. We are always excited to be with you, to watch you, to what you're doing, and because of that, we want to reward you, want you to be happy, as well as you continue with your activities. And so here I will be leaving you now with something that we started off. Interestingly, we'll be sharing some more information about how to do this. If you are a farmer and you're selling a produce, if you are somebody who is dealing with farmers, and selling products or services to farmers, keep in touch with me, keep in touch with our team at Farmers Media. We are starting off a very interesting activity where we want to help you advertise and reach out to more farmers. And not only farmers, we want you to connect. If you are selling produce, stay tuned with that. Stay tuned as well. Keep in touch with us. We want to show you some of the tools that you can use to prepare your packaging, prepare your adverts, prepare your posters to go out to the market. So we'll be sharing that with you as our beloved farmer. Thank you very much. This has been Farming for Profits, and we're happy. I'm always happy to be here, and we always bring you positive vibes. Again, Farming for Profits, your number one channel for farmers. We want you to be able to attain knowledge and make profits. This is always yours truly, Noah Nasiali Kadima, always bringing you positive vibes